ntem kasie bono kasie to me live on Facebook and so at my CTV GH follower na wala ka Facebook pia share so e de ama obi na wono so enya bi atwensema hodo amede eso mo no yanhwa ne abedi akotene e wakasie boni mu ebi Mampeni John Dramani Mahama edi ato Africa Union ni mo se respiratory justice no mo hwe se obehye sade ne mo ekina NPP amanyoko no ebo sobo anasa wode sobo mpo ekọ edi ama NDC amanyoko no se basabasa yobi ama no homne so ewo boko ansana ye beto aba wa fimpi mienu ene edunani mo no na chaso wo sobo bi bo pade a ene na NDC amanyoko no ena wode sa sobo no ebebo wo mo Wodwedie ene sikasem kase bo emu no DVLA ebo amane say no womo eyensan kakra ya wo port hono mo no womo nade plate na say metal plates a wode ebo asen ahodo ehon no be mu aye no eye digital sticker ewo ports hono Wakasi ebo emu no ye do beko enkrofo kro ene enkrofo amai eso na esema hodo twegu hoso no ye de asomo Ensem no ebika we ho ena majo bramede esomo se enwumenu nsia kase ebo wo CTV Ghana's #1 eso edi amejeso eye manye no eki mema mo ajo Ase na yenhye kasebo no ase saying na 13th AU high level dialogue bi ekoso ewo nkramante masay na Ghana Mampeni's Excellency John Dramani Mahama ekokasaye ewo dwumadie no ase wabra wakasa no wode to eye African Union enimo se respiratory justice bi ewo ho ne sense no wonhwe se womo ebehye mu kina se beye na eno no ebeboa ewo kwan ahodo bebre so
reaffirms our shared commitment to confronting the structural challenges that continue to shape Africa's condition. It reflects our collective will to advance democracy, uphold human rights, strengthen governance, and ensure peace and security for the people of our continent. It also affirms our conviction that true and lasting peace can only be achieved when justice exists, when the rights of our people are respected, and when governance systems are truly inclusive, accountable, and are owned by the people that they serve. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, this dialogue could not have come at a more appropriate time. For far too long, the architecture of African states has rested on foundations imposed during a colonial era that neither understood nor respected our histories, our culture, or our aspirations. The enduring legacies of slavery, colonial exploitation, systemic racism, and economic subjugation are still visible today in the arbitrary borders that divide our peoples, in the financial hardships imposed by unjust global systems, and in the fragile governance systems, institutions that we're still struggling to strengthen. We gather here not only to examine this painful past, but also to shape a different and a better future for our continent, where African agency, sovereignty, and dignity are restored and respected. A future where state building is informed by our context, shaped by our people, and owned by our African communities. Ghana is honored to contribute to this continental vision. From the bold Pan-African ideals of Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our first president, to our current engagement on reparative justice and democratic consolidation, Ghana has always stood at the forefront of the struggle for African dignity, unity, and self-determination. We believe that unity is our historical imperative and our most effective instrument for achieving justice and prosperity. The Ghanaian people remain committed to building a continent where no one is left behind and every voice is heard and valued. Yet, we must be honest. This dialogue cannot afford to become another ceremonial event filled with lofty speeches but void of action. Our citizens are watching and waiting. Our young people comprise the majority of our population and are growing increasingly impatient. They are not asking for charity, they demand fairness, they demand opportunity and a stake in our continent's future. Civil society is mobilized, our diaspora is engaged, and our institutions, though still evolving, are increasingly bold and ready to deliver. We must rise to the occasion, not with rhetoric, but with clear action. In that spirit, allow me to place before you two urgent recommendations.
Otwafo a wɔhye Omaiga na sikasɛm ene ne ntotoyɛ so Dr. Kesio ato Banforsen na ɔde ato dwa kyerɛ sɛ report wa free auditor general nkyɛn abeto ne pono so kyerɛ sɛ enkane adwumayɛfo bi a na wɔn edin ɛwɔ aban no akatua ngumam ananse national payroll ɛso no 53,000 na emu 40,000 bi wɔ hɔ afei na wɔn ebe verify wɔ kyerɛ mu a adeɛ sɛ attorney general sɛ wɔyɛ nhwɛmu de afa sase mi ho se beye na ensamade ahodo a ewo aban akatua homa ahodo mu no obeyi ede free hono.
There are other people on the payroll that for some reason these guys, because they are on the payroll, they are not they are on the payroll but they are not supposed to be there. For example, the auditor general tells me, or the Ghana Audit Service tells me that based on the work they've done, about 53,000 separated staffs are still on the payroll. Yes. So they need to clean it up quickly. Then number two, he is unable to validate about 14,000 workers. The question is, are they ghosts? And why are they not able to validate it? And if they are ghosts, then of course, we should be able to claim the ghosts. And the savings we've made, we can use that savings to cover. These are staff that are either on retirement, deceased, on steady leave without pay, blah, 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 all of that.
And they are still captured in there. So, Minister, what happens to those individuals if they are found out? Whoever is behind those things.
So, we are doing some work on it. Okay. And as I said, our audit is ongoing. The Auditor General will certainly submit his report. When we receive the report, we will find out those that are facilitating this unhealthy behavior. I have said that certainly someone somewhere validated this ghost before the ghost was paid and before the ghost surfaced somewhere to take the money and spend. I want to caution, and I've already cautioned, that if you are a validator and you validate ghosts, it's you that will hold you accountable. Will hold you accountable because you are an accomplice. You are an accomplice because it means you are in cahoot with the very group of people that are doing this. And so the state cannot sit unconcerned. We may have to intervene at a time that everybody sees that you have taken public money, because clearly someone somewhere is supposed to do his work, and why is the person not clearing that cost? So that person will have a question to answer, and if somebody somewhere is validating that cost, that person will have a question to answer. Then the person who is taking that salary, knowing that he's not working and is taking public money, then he knows that that money doesn't belong to that person and he's taking public money unlawfully. And so that person will have questions to answer. The Auditor General tells me that, again, after he started going round and people heard that he's making waves and actually began uncovering this activity of separated staff and staffs who are ghosts and they are still there. Already people have started paying into the Auditor General's account. And some of them have started returning some of the money. And so he tells me he has over 1 million cedis in the account and he's now going to do reconciliation, confirm the total amount. People are paying already. They are returning. So I want to use this opportunity to tell them that if you have taken public money, please go and see the Auditor General and confess that please Mafa Beniska on Famazamum. Just go and confess and give it to the Auditor General, because the man will come after you. And you know, he has a lot of powers to surcharge and all. But he tells me that he can say all of a sudden he's seeing that people are paying into those accounts. But let's wait for him to finish his work. Let's wait for the audit service to finish their work. And I'm saying, you are aware, the audit service has offices across the country. They're almost at every region. I want to use the audit service to actually support the work we are doing. They are there for all of us to use. So as minister, I've made an effort to work with the audit service for them to validate this thing for us. But you see, it shouldn't be one-off. It should be because people will leave every day. So we have the audit service in almost every region. You have the internal audit agency structure in almost every district.
Dr. Kessel Atoba Forsen Hremu ese eyade se Auditor General wo yes ansem mu enhwehwemu ahwe se asamandi bia ewo aban akatuangu mu no obayi ede firi honum yento ansem no so na yenkweni mu na wachochofo pani ema NPP amanyoko no eye Justin Frimpo Kodua na wode atodwa trust na anwada na asafe atwemu no menteme ho ase bi ye ma no hom no so ewo bokokro no so mpo ansa na yeto aba wafimpi mienu ene dunani mu no owo suwebo padia na NDC amanyoko no ena wode ebebe womo na wansamchofo nhyiemu bi ekoso ene de ase ena wode ensemi etu dwakase no ede emu nhyiemu esomo.
The issue of Boko crisis is something that is very worrying. It's something that we, the New Patriotic Party, is very extremely concerned about. Human lives are being lost each and every day. Innocent students are being murdered each and every day. Innocent citizens are also losing their lives each and every day. All not because of their own choice, but because of where they find themselves in, and also because of a particular tribe that they belong to. Indeed, it should serve as a caution to the NDC government that in politics, it is not everything that we allow propaganda, misrepresentation to lead us. Most importantly, when it has to do with issues of chieftaincy, when it has to do with issue of religion, when it has to do with issue of ethnicity or tribe, it's something that politicians will need to tread cautiously. Ladies and gentlemen, if you recall, prior to the 2024 elections, the NDC, in their desperate attempt to win elections, said all manners of things, inciting tribalism, religious divisions, creating problems even in our traditional setup, all in their quest to win the 2024 elections. To the extent that the then candidate, Mahama, made several pronouncements and wanted to take advantage of the crisis in Boko by accusing the then government, led by His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, that when the NDC comes to power, Boko crisis will be resolved. And in fact, if we see or we realize issues that happen in Boko prior to the 2024 elections, you can tell that indeed the NDC orchestrated several tribal issues in Boko. And that is why we find ourselves in this unprecedented crisis in Boko. But for us in the New Patriotic Party, for the sake of our democracy, for the sake of people's lives that matters, we are ever ready to assist the government in finding a lasting solution in Boko. And therefore, we are calling on the NDC government to treat this matter as a matter of national interest and shield away their political tendencies and interests, and to call all other political parties, especially the New Patriotic Party, to a roundtable discussion for us to look at a lasting solution to the Boko crisis. And I can assure you, anytime they reach out to the New Patriotic Party for the sake of this country, we will open our doors and have a round discussion with them to find a lasting solution to the Boko crisis.
Yentwa SM no so na yenkweni mom na ranking member on constitutional and legal affairs ora na se onmonyamfo Kwame Enyimadu entry na wade atodwa tress sika se mu hwehwemu bi a attorney general de afa Dr. Kwabradufo ene nipa enso bi ehwo no enka se hwehwemu no won hyede hunu ni a ekro obisa kosan ese anasa ebiana attorney general ewo interest bi ewo sansemi emu na ensemtrofo nhyiemu ase na wode nsemi etudwa
nema ekoso oman mu no ese yema the learned attorney general emramu no senka yefra bibi NP nolly prosecute se obi ye bone next attorney general ye prosecutioner anka oye nolly prosecutor na o file a obi emusa no benkum obi emusa no metim obi emusa no makao na we the attorney general ye nolly prosecutor and oye press conference ba bontin say in the interest of transparency so person niema muda hopefi nti o person o treachirim na edienti a oye nolly prosecutor na niema o treachirim no ena ma yehunu say ene na esese yensu ebusa no nsem bi emaninya ensem bebre eyi ano esanse opese oye transparent dia ene omai asem no mu ye ne dipedi nyina enhu na yenhu se asem no sei netie na okase waye nolly prosecute no enter awia yedi kan ya ye kan ena ye kan se ono yedi kan na obeki kan no ene mani bi o ha wo de asie Ghana fo bebre. The fact is say Unibank no now ye lawyer ma Unibank and now ye lawyer Emma Dr. Kwabradufo and now nipa kro no ano waba be ye attorney general enti wasem no now ye lawyer ma no eno na oguso a wo ye ana say foforo na wo ye and no pa ho a ya sign ayemra bebre e wo man ebi ni Calls Act section 35 no so obi edi Bone anase odi oman ni dwirimu a emra hye se saa nipa no before the court no se ye convicted nipa no ye convicted no wi a na afi no court no betimi aye restitution se ade na esenka okomu emfie dudu sei ya teso emfie dudu sei the same thing na plea bargain act a section 162 of the course criminal procedure at 30 and also as amended and also ya amended and also cancer na no crowd here can say apart from conviction bibiara obeye no esese court no na ehwe na oka eho asem de papa ya ye die Dr. Dom na ye die wamfa bibia nkokot bia ono ankasa na wafre parties no ena one omo ahyehye ena waka se ontoa asem no so bie na de akoye no akoye se a members omaye bone omo wo na administration NDC enkrofo eno de ebasa meyi afrim me nolly prosecute me ntoa so me sei eno ena abeye the trend echo na mra wo ho se opese oye restitution the all can say omatue sika ne bi enti oma oman ni sika enhye eno nso ye wo mra ye de fa so enso amfa emra no so bia nti wontre mu yi adrotia wamfa emra no so
Enyume no sia kase bo na me de esumo wo CTV eso no kase bo na yestumi live e Facebook na so at my CTV GH follower na wala ke yo Facebook pia share no so e de ama obi na wono so enya bia hwento asem no so na ye nkwani mu na dom koma ba no deni e onmonyamfo Alexander Afenyomakin na wada atodwa trust na sentem no ya de se hepatitis ya de no ase e ya trepa e wo man no emu wo kyeremu a pepe and 4 million each and I will be now so and I say when you more say will be saying no what they told us I was share up on the SMS when you more say 1 year chile mapa ewo in your sabia ewo in crooked to a so na first 1 year test in the dwana and fire day and which you know a year Professor Grace I Sue Dankwa and Jerry Ahmed when we for so at the same say account
including the stigma of hepatitis, which restricts access to prevention, testing, and the treatment of hepatitis B or C. It is estimated that 304 million people live with hepatitis around the world, and out of this number, 1.3 million people die each year due to liver cancer or cirrhosis. So, Speaker, hepatitis is a major public health threat in Ghana, and approximately 4 million Ghanaians live with hepatitis and are not even aware of it due to the lack of healthcare facilities in rural areas especially.
Speaker, hepatitis B is a sexually transmitted disease. Hepatitis B is spread by blood and bodily fluids. The solution to solving the hepatitis B problem is a public health education. The people who are promiscuous need to be educated. Most people who have hepatitis, especially the chronic type, they don't even know they have it. And a lot of people, the prevalence and the incidence in Ghana is very high. But luckily, Mr. Speaker, it was one of the problems that we had discussed in the NDC manifesto. And the solution to solving the hepatitis B problem would be the free primary health care. Currently, children are getting the hepatitis B vaccine in the pentavalent vaccines. So they get it at 6 months, 10 months, and 6 weeks, 14 weeks, and 10 weeks and 14 weeks. Currently, once the free primary health care program is rolled out, we will be given the birth dose in the beginning of 2026.
This statement comes at the right time. And for me, we need to consider what is more important at this stage, which is the preventive care. Growing up, I've always heard people say that prevention is always better than cure. And that is why, for me, this statement is profound. And Speaker, I would just make reference to the Efutu experience, where the maker of this statement personally had to support the initiative with an initial amount of 1 million. Speaker, obviously, most of us here may not have the resources to do that, but we should also be encouraged that to it we can pay little by little and get to that level. Speaker, over 20,000 individuals have benefited from this screening through vaccination, especially in the Efutu constituency. Speaker, then where you have the maker of this statement, who has also conceded to consolidate these efforts by constructing a hepatitis and liver care center. Speaker, for me, I think that this is worth commending. I am looking at the preventive side, which is for me, abbreviated into SICA.
Meme da etwe mo no Ghana for ante asem de esanse high life legend obon homodin pa ewo enyumto ejuma no emu Charles kwajofosu yadodo na efren that lumba atwananom ewo ensie do na nei no mrahye bedwafo asaw no empewa akansem bebre e de afa no ho ebinum etwiremu a eyade se wanam nenyum so na wodai ne bebre e de ama omane sentinu mrahye bedwafo ni bi etwiremu a ho behia se du eyo ne mu a yade se so oman no etimi Mr.
Speaker, the void left by Daddy Lumba's departure is vast and irreplaceable, yet his legacy endures, not just in the melodies we will continue to sing, but in the life lessons that so powerfully shared through his music. He entertained, he educated, he inspired, and he united us. That, Mr. Speaker, is the mark of a true legend. In this moment of mourning, I extend my condolence to his family, friends, the countless fans both in Ghana and across the globe. We mourn with him, but we also celebrate a life well lived, a life that brought joy, comfort, inspiration to many, many Ghanaians and citizens. May the soul of Charles Kwadwo Fosu Daddy Lumba rest in perfect peace, and the many songs continue to echo in our hearts, reminding us of who we are, where we come from, and what truly matters in life. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the grieved and people of Nsuta Kwamine People's Constituency, the entire Central District, and especially the paramount chief of the Nsuta traditional area, Nana Asamoah Jemfi Setre II, I call upon this House and the nation to mourn with us. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has lost a legend, but his legacy endures. I humbly appeal to the Honorable House and the government to consider awarding national honors, including a state-assisted funeral, and establishing initiatives to preserve and promote his musical legacy. Mr. Speaker, as we mourn, we also celebrate a life that touched millions. Let us remember Charles Kwadwo Fosu, not just with tears, but with pride for the gift he was to our nation.
Ebisa for my nyina we so na ye home kaste bono so na edikan ye basisia.
Just like how water refreshes you on a hot sunny day, it takes a refreshing bath with Alive soap to feel its pleasant fragrances.
The soap I want and need at the end of every day,
Leaving you with soft, smooth and fresh looking skin.
you make me feel alive, you really brighten my day, my day.
Available in lemon, coconut, rose and aloe vera fragrance. Alive soap. Feel fresh, feel alive.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Watch is bread,
It's still on point.
for your bread,
It's creamy.
for your toast.
It's still on point.
It's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune's bread, it's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Fortune's bread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Introducing the new Jama washing powder with multi-enzymes that helps remove stubborn stains.
It has has a nice fragrance. Not harsh on my hands. Foams easily. And removes stains well.
Oh, I still to be.
Ma, he brought 5 big sachets of new Jama washing powder.
Yes, ma'am.
It really removes stains. It has a nice fragrance.
Yes, ma'am.
Then add 30 sacks of Jama washing powder to your engagement list.
Yes, ma'am.
New Jama washing powder for cleaner, fresher wash. Your partner for clean clothes. This advert is FDA approved.
Say na yento akase bono so enko yenimo na yenko ensefufro emu na Students Representative Council ema University of Energy and Natural Resources ye wosunyane apawo womo 2025 LRC week ehu entoma na wodwumade na so wotrese womo ehwese dwumade a wobedie no bibibia ebekoso jojo afenso wode futu akọ de ama adusafo ese wonder suban papa ediwabra womo ebedi na wotwe na president and as SRC president Emma School yi Andrew Danso wakasa atrenoma hodoa wamo ebeye wasana watwe no emu no wochemu a wamo ebeye float games lectures afeso besa so atonsa de afre anyontofo hodoa ama wamo abadwumadi no asibi.
Comes with so much energies. Be that when we are celebrating, we expect all students to participate, involve themselves in every activity that we do. But then we always say that safety is a shared responsibility. So whatever thing that you do, you must make sure that your safety is your priority. You don't have to do anything that at the end of the day you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. We have a program, and at the end of the program we see you in jails. This is the time where we have to relieve ourselves as students, and at the end of it all, you should benefit from the week celebration. Sure. So I advise that we take an advice from ourselves, we learn from what we have been told, and we should behave as students.
Let me state that when we talk about unlocking student potential, the role of the office of the Vice Chancellor cannot be gainsaid. As the head of the university authority, he needs to exhibit exemplary leadership, which I know our prof is doing. Skills that will kneel to the full potential of students, lecturing and learning. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate the Vice Chancellor and the university authorities of the University of Energy and Natural Resources for making the university one of the best institutions in the country by playing their crucial role as leaders of the university. Planning for 10 years, plant trees. But if you are planning for 100 years, educate your children. This quote is very, very, very imperative. I want to repeat it.
Do not make a choice of university. I tell my students, if you were decided to pick a university because of the presence of physical monumental infrastructure, you now will never be a rush. But you came to me now, you have not regretted because the university is more than a hope. And I believe that once you live here, you become employable. You are trained to be globally competitive. You are trained to leave this place and take over the world. As I speak to a young university in less than 12 years, we have produced a member of parliament. And you are aware of that, Honorable Said Mubarak. Sunyani is Stuttgart, who is also an MP for Brekum area, is a product of this university. Youth Employment Agency Coordinator for Bono Region, Umar Popson, is a product of this university. He said in entrepreneurship. My good friend, the Youth Employment Coordinator for the Western Region, Mahama, also a product of the University of Energy and Natural Resources.
Yentwa ensemble so na yenko enimo Na headmaster Emma Sunyani SDA Senior High School eye Abraham Opoku na wade ato aban nemu se wo mesesa eye Sunyani SDA Senior High School emfree eye day school na wonye ne boarding school emfa Emma womo wo kiremu a aban no ne sa eno no ebeboa pa ama school yi etumi afa de soafo bebre na ama eno no aboa ama nwumahia ho sem etumi akonanimo wo kiremu ese ade se no se beboa ama double track pressure na das wo no eno so eso ate abafom
yeah, sorry, you know, and you're handing over of school prefects, and I sign here SDNT. You sign well, sorry, dear handing over every one always school at the max from 2 4. I'm gonna take it up the mantle as prefects. You see, the first happening so the appeal to see I'm buying Minister of Education. GS and it be around or one woman say on my boarding status. Na school into me and Peja and good room Pempenswa, the Pessia. Minimum pass, I sorry not baby, I have my say it mean your boarding status now. A binoble type see out there and this is obey eliminated double track. Yeah, you beat me actually, but don't know about the threat of buying say on my boarding status. Now, free classrooms are hot. Bangla any be any other things about Wama school net me to a buying on your item na omwa as senior high school. On my
super na nebai I need to back one and say school is very, very disciplined. Na environment and also say me GD is a secondary school setting. Unfortunately, lack of lunch intina na mania je hon say headmaster so mo akwai new land e wo once in the municipal capital until minim say sooner no be move into residence in this new school. And I also think say teachers no more who so are very disciplined, and many the whole program no organizing. No GD say do mribia ahoden wo ho say assembly bo a yenso de mo nyina better much na mo nyina baby gina atumi akonkan akoto mo nua no a establishment so say ke no me best ni other schools.
And you may not see a Cassiabo and when you go to share with CTV Ghana's #1 so no follow ye our Facebook and so at my CTVGH like and we pian share so e de ama ubina wono so enye bi atwento asem ne so na enko enimo ewo ensemfofro emu na ade hia womo ewo odumase #1 ye no no ewo Sunyani West mansini mo no eni age won huye papa ye yakasa no womo ebo se wo kirem a ekwan bi ya ye frɛ no eye nana abna boatema road anase kwan wo kyerese be mfie bebre nie na embenifo ato ekwan ajaje mu a won siesie emfa emma wo na nso ya de se ne no wo mo mra hye badwani wo nyamfo Millicent amankwa ye bo a wo ne homoden abe siesie kwan no ede ama wo ma ne no akroni abadie aye wo mo emma ne sense no wo mo ebo na baso na no akire nsemtwerefo ene wo ne nyamfo Millicent amankwa ekasa ye ma wo de tudwa etrose se wo ye infrastructure ebi etese akwan adan nyaresabia ensuo ni ade no ena ye ne so ade hunu baako a wo beye ede ama adehia wo mo ewo Sunyani West ene ne important mo wakasa wie ye no so no e ade se bono mantem so afo ne bonyafo Joseph eye akwabwa enso ekasai
for the past 8 years Sapang we obied the MP getting to 24 years one so tire price Sapang for the quota is 7 months in it. No prayer was I do it. We thrown one botomo. And ya buying and a cascase on family Sapang. On one pay how you were parliament. Then I walk one on Kakra. That the IS Sapang we send you an man for a be free food. Then to see ya nipa say there was anyone concerned to Abakra or her. Your man at Tranaswa, Pussy said, on one Bacase, on Kobio. Because we won't be her. Nipa now, yeah, MP, or her, no, a minister of state,
Odi minister mfie nwotwe wa DMP be getting to 24 years. When tima anye bibi say, wan fa ne bottle nsika anye bibi say. Na se yenua bai atima so daye ahu sane manfo kro duma se capital no Sunyan West capital ni o kro no mfimfiri ni egina no na se watima ye bibi say a o sabaso bo kese enti o ka kire me no enka me konkran o me se da bi megyae aye sa adwuma de ansa na makọ enti yadana se
na meka no ade bakọ ye bi de pa ne se papa his excellency John Dramani Mahama eba mpuntu dwuma ne akwan a oye number 1 ye hwe enne osoafo a wapaw no sa on hwe akwan so a ye honorable Kwame Abuja ye hwe ono so ye obi a wabeye leader e wo parliament onim oye okandini a onim mpuntu was our road committee so for a very long time. It is the Abeha. Says any appointment in a man. One night, Wako region BM, including Bono regional, Oba, Ebabefa, Sunyane, and Impro Aka, Eso. I improve to Jumane Abeha, Eba Kwaya, media budget, Nano, ye papa, at to force your oceans in Castle. Obo account says Sunyane outer green roads no account which we know say Yankopon I don't know my inner ones nina ebeka now what share boss say 2 years I was or them make sure say before 4 years in the best one kwan what or mine Ghana I was see a shana and papa no or beshe out to know who was say or boy papa his excellency John Dramani Mahama na pedi sesa nyoma we nyina bekoyi
semno so na yenko epoye mantem no emu na emebura wamo ewo achimasene ye no no ewo epoye mantem ebuefu won ye papa pa ye kire mu ode ne pa e de atia wamo mrahye badwani eyo no monyamfo George Kwame Aboaje wamo semtenten na etia wanyina enese bridge bi ewe krono so ye na no bridge na da na owo afidi a wosuro mpo se wo befa so watwe eye mrahye badwani atwe na se wonhwe na wonsiesie bridge emfa emo na so besinne enya de se wasiesie ede ama wo no atwe no wamosanso e wo library ene astrotech be no so ba ye mfie dum yensenie ena mpanifo e sha ase se wo si na so bepem ne enya de se mpanifo esi ede ama wo ne senti no wo de to mra hye badwane ani mu se bo sha wo hye wo mo wa fimpim mienu ene don sie ne bo bra wo bo ntwa no hye se obedi ne bo hye no eso
yo abusiafo emise executive say me no mo eye ekuya ya organize demonstration o makasa bebre ya disredi nyina na o maka no na kakra meka ade atroso no say eye o mampani dwo mama ya giridi ani ato abama no ye no say ono so ana waboa na asene adiye be se mfie nwatwe a atwam enti yesre no ontie sufe no hu yemobo sisi afa na yenya DC a owa hoblase a owo tema ene odo ema ne manfo eti ye besre omampani ni DC omutwa mani mehwe ye park ye nya ba bi amobo ye bridge na ohu ye mobo na ye man na library no so no yesre na omomodin no mutu ho na mo no mo ye man empo aka odumfo bi akoma na so betimi atu ne ho asi ho no abaya man a ye beda na se
eti ye China ebu egum na kum nipa ansa na ya friend admofo so mo ma me rescue yen ana se enai na sese ye mayen ya nto ama aba am we enye politics je se so mo de show ma dwum se we enye politics we ye plenia mapa na ma ye kulo no ene oman na ye wo mu no ye de ya ni awie ebi mu baba ye no ye ma baba ye nananom baba ye library no that ye si wana kola bia kofa ho ene bu eku no ansa na omu behu se ye hia ne ma papa enti so antimi anya bibia mayen ya sanya no ka se ye de akukọ kra bejida ho ne ehye na MPP atade ye beto aman enenye sabi first no bu ye fanfu ama fa ye se ye ni mu kan ye ni mu chiro enti dia baba bia ne afans enne de ye nye ne sta ti apesi ye put an end to this enne ye last oh ye sabiem ye mpesi ye dem ra be hye ye 70 ye ne boko
bosha wo hye ye from 2016 no asenfo still ye ni wo so wo momodia na sebe wonye ema ye sanse wa ya me no kase na sani ni secondary school Ochina bi na ye pasase esi secondary school ebia na ho kura na be de be kwakoda hwe Odansko ye chi Odansko 1960 from 1960 to 2025 hwe ba bi Odanwo na ye se Odansko ana Odansko e ye Odansu na se mu wapa na so 1960 ye chimi atena ho aye e dia ba bedu 2025 a se DC ano ho at that time DC Kwame Kwache e chimi kan eye Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ho e chimi ye sa bridge ni ma ya na onye MP a ada na ye MP edi ehwamo sei say MP say this year Chimia in the year 1960 other than member of parliament and Chimia in the year 2025 and this year 2025 yes honorable Dr. Kwame Abuaji say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Na yempese yabeka say sebe wonwe ye ho yenso odwen ye ho so odwen ye ho dia ene adwen ye ho adwepa na omemeyemayen yekoto slega na fo ne obi ase honorable Dr. Kwame Abuaji omameye atima sane Edinburgh no efama ye
Ebusiafo yenko yenimwe na ne sese ebusua ye wonungwa ebo amane se wo monsase bi ewo eye Boteman ya University of Ghana epese wo faculty kwan bi so na sa agency asen edifri wo ense wo kiremu a woden sase ema eyesuampo ehan wafi apem ahankron ediokron no emu na chese mfie aduasa na wode ema ehan wo chese bre na so yes university eden sase esan edema wo na so nya de se wo pese wode ema wo na so ama nei no sase no mpo wo hwe bi etonton ne se wonte wadade trade eto aban ne mo so fa na ensi fomo na ansase ye wona no mo dia no wonfa ema wo mo
yeah phone yeli asase wo ha me jira wa kasa me finima de bia esem ba na me hwe ne ekoso onum me ni bebi da e wo me kasa ma asase so asase emi na dia no me ni bebi wo ha asase no ko university farms information ya anya ne say university for the toma omo kasa mo workers bebi information fi omo ade na mo nja ya ade mai na ne ade be ye ne fanye because musu be ye mpreko ni farms no ni obium se John Maka no president John Maka no misal tunu o ka se asase no oba opposition so oba asase bia yenkrafo gadang asase bia ye wo e fa se de bibi ayant man fa e biom no ye fa ye de ye fa man e tu fa ye ton u fa ye ton enti minimi ni enti a ya asase no tu fa man.
Well, President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Yeche, Bemli, Nefe campaign, a Yake, Shipoji, Nejikadam, Shipoji, Fair Nakolo, no Nisana Ketchum, Naketchum, a Babu Temicone Femini, a Mehika, Belaji, no nation, Dromona, Wakani, a Batase, no, a year, no Ake, and Menaka Shipoji, won't be. I can eat a year, or like a year, a feel. What won't be I can a year and a Kashipon Bejano Tone. Ekwe ni woshipon niji wono 871 ekese ekwe ne ngme shimon wole ake dromo na anunya eba woshipon no ni ajieko na kefe Olympic Stadium wotueto niji mi sheke hawo shimon na hwe woke wo kpafai na ngme yawo wo sa wo passport minister an fai akeshi noni ake hale etunia na kanu pe no me manomie kwa ke noni ake hale etunia na kanu pe no ko ni noni ehwe na kwe
na me keshpo government noni sishpo kan ni basmo na je government noni wo ga chame noni na at least sishpo na ha me
okay be share ba for
o be share hoye ni na le be na am for wall ke nyemi kemba
so you go and do that recording
am for wall kemba o be na ni won to wo ke government ko qualify le no e kakasi
yes
e ba mo film na wo ma bi aspon e ke ba femini e ke ba ha me o qualify wa ka ta ni mo years ke wo e respect ni wo kan hala ke no fe ke no fia no wo qualify e mo modi de kwa wo le ana me wo spon ya wo you go be aspon ni machine university farms e wo spon na me ho no ne some no me sin kan on e na me ho spon na me yi
Neru so no eye dwedie eni sikasem kasebo Yemo Eradredie Enisika Kasiebo Emwen. Na Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority DVLA Ebo Manie say na nasempo every August bottom de dikan afiye mono wamo ebe nsan kakra ewo wamo nama plates ahodwa wode ema ewo port no emu wotrese aluminium anase enade plate ya wode ema ahyen ahodwa ye kra edi free amanone ebe omani mo port hono mono wamo ebe nsan kakra ewo ho aye no digital sticker ewo port no mu wotrese we no chef furokra wamo edi egu akwemu ahwese omudwumedi ahodwo ebetumi akoye ewo ports ahodwo no wokyeremu a wedin kan aye testing ewo eye tema eni takrade port ehu se chishei anase dwumedi no ebetumi akoye pa ede ama womo ne senti wo bo amane se efi August bosom de di kan wa fiye mu na ekono ehyen anase ka bia wo bekra ede free amanone aba o my Ghana mu ye baba pie ewo port sebe pie ewo tema port anase takwade port anase infa port no natural se number plate ya ye ebe ma wo no ebe ye digital sticker ye no air drive from port digital sticker no e na wode ebe dwudwuma wono wokyeremu emfa ho ene hyen kwora wakra ediaba se wo kra Toyota se wo kra Nissan se wo kra bobo ya ka bi obekra ye be fa port hono mo nko ade ene wode eye digital sticker yi ene bebo so wokyere se we no enhye a wode egu akwemu se beye na DVLA omudwumedi ahodo a wodie no ebetumi akọ nanimo na wetumi asomo my Ghana wasompa Yengo wie kase bono e wonkrofo crew ene enkrofo amanso Yentwa bosompo na yenko wie kase bono e wonkrofo crew ene enkrofo aman eso na France e de ato European Union enimo se yina yenim se menteme ho ase kakra ma no homne so e wo Gaza ene Israel Palestine adiade entem wenam so ama European Union ya to European Union anymore say animu ya no wamo enhye Israel fokete na won hwe cement be ho ase yi a ama no homne so e wo sa mai entemo no ne nyina ebe brase titru e wo Gaza mai no emu tiremu a menteme ho ase yi no ade ase ha adwene pa e wo Gaza mai no mu ene amaya hodo na eka ho no emu ntino European Union anymore say one munye do betumi bia efa emwa se beye na asumdwe ebeba sa mai eso ena mede enwume no sia kase bono ebesiwa wotina fia wo hweye meda se ma mo hweye e wo Facebook meda mo ase production team ni nyina Robert Sika Vero Bismarck mo nyina meda mo ase edi ameje so eye manye no eki adase amomo enisha yidikra